Hey everybody! Welcome to your weekly comic roundup with the officially unofficial Geek channel here on YouTube. My name is Carrie Quinn and I am your fearless host. Well, yeah, I guess we could call me that. Your fearless host into the world of comics. Da-da-da-da-da. Someday, maybe, I'll have like a theme song or some shit. But right now, all you get is me going da 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 da, which sounds probably kind of weird. I apologize. I have, I live in Illinois, Northern Illinois, and in fact, this week, it's like the second half of May, so it's starting to be relatively warm. Um, and the only window that my air conditioner works in, fits in, sits fairly nicely, is right the fuck next to me. So we're gonna deal with it. I did a little bit of a sound test with this, so you can at least hear me. But I don't want to melt. I'm big girl. I'm plus size woman, and we don't do well in heat. So heat meaning temperature. Cheeky buggers. Anyways, if anyone got that joke, I am going to be really excited. Please comment below if you got the joke just now. And please like, subscribe, do all that wonderful, wonderful thing. And we do more than just comics here. I swear. I swear to you, we do more than comics here. But I do work a 9-to-5 job, and I do take my personal time to do this because I don't get paid at this, and I have to pay bills. So I do this out of pure love for it, and because it's fun. Being here talking to you guys is fun. But I swear to God, I'm going to be doing other stuff besides comics. In fact, if you look at the channel, you will see there's a few videos that are not comics related, and or a little bit different than just doing a normal roundup of comics. I'm hopefully going to be finishing my research on one of my main event videos this coming weekend. Now, actually, that one does have to do with comics, but in a different way than just talking about the content of the specific issues each week. So sit tight. Please check out my previous content and drink your LaCroix, coffee, whatever else you have going on right now, because like I said, this is your weekly comics roundup, and we are the officially unofficial Geek channel. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start with a couple of the number ones that came out this week. So I do have notes here. I'm going to be referencing my notes, of course, but I want to talk about, first, I'd like to talk about the DC Legends of the Dark Knight. Here we go. This is the cover, number one. Really interesting. I like the art. It's kind of old school. OG, maybe like 90s Batman. We have a situation in Gotham, and basically what we've got going on here is it seems like we've got Gordon talking to some of his officers about a recent situation involving an emergence of a highly toxic, I'm sorry if you hear behind me, my cat is jumping all over things. So an emergence of a highly toxic, more toxic than the Joker, anything the Joker's got, gas that could literally kill people just by inhaling it, which, I'm sorry, he's being weird. He always has to get involved, it seems. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore him for now because he's just being He's just being River. So Legends of the Dark Knight, kind of old school. They've got basically what's happening is you have Gordon talking to some of his deputies, and there's been this emergence of this. Wow. I don't know if you guys can hear it if it's loud enough, but he has found like this package that he's like running around with in like a little bag type thing. And my cat is always one of my cats are my co-stars, I think, on these videos because they're funny. They're a trip to live with. I love them so much. So it's kind of recounting recent activities in regards to this whole situation. So this gas has been developed by someone else, not one of our normal members of the Rogues Gallery, but all the members of the Rogues Gallery want this shit, okay? So basically, what we've got going on is everybody wants it, and Batman and Gordon and the GCPD are trying to stop it. And you know what? I like these kind of things, and it's like at first I thought this was going to be kind of an anthology type thing where it's going to be different stories, but there actually is a cliffhanger at the end. So I guess it's an ongoing series. This might be one of those ones that if you're looking to, if you're looking for something like that, to be kind of a palate cleanser from the regular storyline of Gotham, that's not that bad of an idea. But if you're looking to kind of shrink down and try to minimize exactly what you're looking for in your comic book reading to main goings on of Gotham, this might be one that you might want to wait for the trade on. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I might see what everyone has to say about the next one when it comes out. You know, those boys, the guys at Clyde's always seem to convince me of it, particularly Neil. Always seem to convince me to buy stuff. You know, it happens, and I don't knock it, you know, because usually they are right, and we'll be talking about that again later on in this video. Another number one that came out this week, and oh my goodness, what a welcome to Yara Flor. Yara Flor, Wonder Girl #1. Holy shit. Okay, so those of you that were interested and paid attention during the Future State issues already know Yara. She was presented as Wonder Woman. Obviously right now she's presented as Wonder Girl. This is basically kind of going back and telling an origin story. But that origin story has possible implications and ripple effects throughout the whole DC universe, as what you do see here in this issue #1. So welcome to the flow and Fold Yara. It's an amazing start to the series. I think that Future State was just a preamble to what we got here with Yara. Like I said, you get some origin story of young Yara, and also kind of young woman Yara now is basically the purpose of all of this, and how she is even badass at a young age. Okay, so like read it, and it comes right out in the beginning. It tells you about it. You don't have to wait too long. She is the premise of what we got going on here is she's just stepping foot in Brazil for the first time, and this is her origin, country of origin, basically. She's just stepping foot in Brazil for the first time in a very long time, and her just stepping foot back in Brazil has set off a chain reaction that everybody feels everywhere. And I do mean everybody, everywhere. Okay, so there's some beautiful storytelling here, and there's some fantastic panels and art. I can't even with some of it. I can't wait to see what happens here. There's implications throughout DC universe. Welcome, Yara Floor. I will be watching and reading, so to speak. So the next thing I want to talk about is another number one. Now, actually, I'm a few weeks late on this one, and it's because mostly I've been reading DC products and just kind of trickling in with some Marvel here and there, and I happened to hear in some reviews about the Mighty Valkyries. So I picked up the Mighty Valkyries number one. Now, I have been a Jane Foster fan for a while. And so when I heard that Jane was involved here, I had to go with it. I had to get also this is what I was talking about. It's a previous issue. I just picked up other reviews on it, and they were favorable. And the guys over at Clyde's also talked to me about it and talked it up for me. And so Clyde's Rockford, Illinois. Clyde's Comics in Rockford, Illinois. He's my main comic dude. Thanks, Clyde's. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, everyone that was there that convinced me to get this. Didn't need to do much convincing, but definitely talked it up for me. So yeah, so they were right again on this one. I love Jane Foster. Even during my not so regular comic book reading time, I did catch the Jane Foster Thor story, and I loved it. I was not one of those people that was upset about it. I absolutely loved it. So I found out, and I love it so much, that she's now not only a doctor in Midgard, which would be here, but also a motherfucking Valkyrie. She's motherfucking Valkyrie. She's a Valkyrie now. What the fuck? Okay, so Doctor Strange brings word to Jane of a monster going on rampaging and hurting and murdering people. So Jane, whom is now also a morgue assistant because she takes too much time being a motherfucking Valkyrie, gets the goods on a coroner's bar hangout from the person she's working with to get some more info involving the death and the attacks in the area. So she goes to a corner bar hangout, and not only does she get a ton of information, but she runs into some interesting known characters in the DC universe. I'm not going to give it away because you need to fucking read it if you haven't already. Second story in the book. So she gets this information, Jane Foster gets this information, and it sets her on a course to find out more information. But there's a second story in the book, and it has the Valkyrie that was made famous in the MCU by Tessa Thompson. It's basically that character. She's got some memory loss from what's happened to her previously before the Mighty Valkyries story started. But she is running around, it seems, and being a lone wolf. Intergalactic vigilante. Both tales end on cliffhangers, and I'm like, I'm in. I'm in. So, like I said, I love Jane, and I love the Valkyries. Whoops, I had to pause that for a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Had to go take care of something. And during that time, my boyfriend did inform me that, because he listens to me sometimes when I'm doing these videos in the next room, and I may have said that Jane Foster runs into people from the DC universe, and that is incorrect. Jane Foster runs into people from the Marvel universe, because that makes sense. Yeah, so hi, Carrie Quinn, making your computer screens awkward since the advent of the internet. So anyways, moving on, we're going to talk about Nightwing. No, we're going to talk about Justice League 61. Justice League 61. Um, wow. This was pretty cool. It also included a um, story of Justice League Dark. I do enjoy the kind of makeup of Justice League Dark. I would probably want to get more information about them. Um, and it would probably help me in my enjoyment of it. But what I'm mostly going to talk to you about today, right now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Justice League Dark, but I am going to talk to you about Justice League 61. Um, so, whoops. Okay. So, it would seem that the quasi beaming to another planet didn't go exactly as planned. So the Justice League are separated kind of on Naomi's home planet, and they're having some troubles. Of the actual, every one of the actual superhumans in the group are having like troubleshooting issues with their powers, with their abilities. But after getting it worked through, kinda, um, they get to deal with the bigger problem, which is the guy that they went there to find in the first place, Brutus, and his kind, his people. Not all exactly like him. There are other people that kind of have this, kind of like red makeup goatee kind of thing going on. I would love more information about what's going on with them, because it seems like Brutus is kind of with them, but he's definitely different than them. So that will be interesting. So they have to deal with Brutus and deal with the fact that they are having troubleshooting issues, so to speak. And it'll be interesting to see what happens next month with this one. Now, Justice League Dark is still dealing with the beasts in the books in the library, trying to get down to the heart of who they are looking for in regards to that. If you recall from the previous issue, the previous story of Justice League Dark, they've basically gone to the Justice League to let them know what they were doing and about what was going on. Now, what I like about Justice League Dark is that it's kind of like, instead of being like meta-humans, it's actually kind of like magic based. So that's kind of cool. But that's it for Justice League. It was a good story, but it wasn't like spectacular or anything. So we're gonna leave the spectacular for the next two issues that we're going to be talking about. First off, so we got basically, to me, what was the best of the week. The next two issues. So we got kind of the runner up for me for issue of the week. So I have really been digging on this guy right here, Mr. Dick Grayson. Nightwing number 80. Wonderful. I really like the dynamic between the characters in this. It's really great. So it really just basically what we've got here is we got the continuation of the story, where Dick has inherited a shit ton of money from Alfred, and Alfred, so Alfred has given Dick Grayson a huge inheritance, and Dick is still on this whole, what do I do now? How do I make life better for people? How do I put this money to good use? And so he started that kind of in the last couple issues, and he just decided he was going to just like help people. That's what he was going to do. He's going to help people with the money. It wasn't enough for him to just be Nightwing and help people that way. He wants to help people with the money. And what really sucks about that is that it always sucks when you do a really great deed for someone, and then they get their heart torn out of their chest. I mean, like, really. Usually, in this situation, the cops show up at your front door and insinuate that it was a lover's quarrel gone wrong, which is exactly what happened to Nightwing as Dick. The cops showed up at Dick's door because basically what he did for this person was he not only gave him and a bunch of other people food, he also took this one guy that had a kid and was like, here, I'm going to give you this, basically a hotel room for a while, and I'm going to pay for it on my card. So he set that up. The guy was supposed to go there with his son and, you know, have a nice place to stay for a while and that kind of thing. And basically on their way to that, in the previous issue, dude gets his heart torn out of his chest. Rude. Man, he was about ready to live it up. He was having his best week ever. I don't know how one has the best week ever when they are homeless and all that. But you know what? It just sucks. He was about ready to, you know, do something really cool. And, you know, life has probably been shitty. And all of a sudden, his heart gets torn out of his chest. Anywho, so the cops show up at Dick's door because obviously he put this hotel room in this guy's name. This guy shows up dead in an alley with his heart torn out of his chest. And the cops basically, oh wow, you guys are really great at your job because you basically just told Dick that you think that it was a lover's quarrel gone wrong. And Dick, personally, pulled someone's heart out of his chest. Yeah. So basically what happens is Oracle, you know, stops by and is like, hey, yeah, so he didn't do it because I was with him. And the police then decide that they're going to be kind of like, well, what happened? Like, what do you mean you were with him? Like, no, bitches, that ain't any of your business. Thank you, Oracle. Okay. But so he gets the help of Oracle to give him an alibi, and then he gets the help of Tim Drake to kind of help him find out what the hell went wrong in this situation. So, wow. Okay, so I personally think that Dick mostly just wanted to get the dog walked. But you need to read the issue to find out exactly what happened. The dog is fucking adorable, and I gotta say that, you know, how come is Dick such a Lothario with the ladies? I mean, you know, Starfire at the Academy, Barbara here, like, dude. So, other stuff happens besides Dick being a ladies' man and calling up Tim to take his dog for a walk. Other things happen besides that, and I'm not going to tell you. But that is to wet your whistle, get you to read Nightwing 80. So, okay, so the moment of the week is my comic of the week. Love it. Live it. Read it. If you are a fan of DC comics, if you are a fan of Gotham-centered comics, and you are not reading Catwoman, you're missing out. You're missing out on a huge part of the Gotham story. And the thing is it's my comic of the week, but you know what? I'm not going to sit here and tell you very much about it. Let's see here. What can I tell you about it without giving too much away? And how fucking amazing Selena Kyle is. Selena Kyle and her alley cats. What? Okay, so here's the thing. Holy shit. Okay, so one thing we have Catwoman, Selena Kyle, and her alley cats, including Shoes, aka Cheshire Cat, which if you read the Asian Celebration of Heroes, you know who that is. And if you read the Catwoman Future State issues, you know who that is. You know Cheshire Cat Shoes is aka Arsenal's daughter. Anywho, So basically, they attempt to pull off the greatest heist, probably in recent comic book history, if not all history. Comment below if you think that you can think of a better one than what she cooks up here, especially if you've read this. You have to have read this book, you have to have read this issue, Catwoman number 31, and be able to tell me that you think that somebody else has had a better heist, at least in DC comic book history, than what she pulls off here, what she attempts to pull off here. This is one hell of a character, and it lives up to what this book has been. Then, now, hopefully, fucking always. Okay, this is, to me, depending on your perspective of things, depending on your arguments that you can make either way. The character of Selina Kyle, Catwoman, is, in my opinion, one of the best chaotic good / chaotic neutral anti-heroes in print in comics today. Motherfucking Catwoman. You swagger goddess. You. Selina Kyle. And the thing is I have to sit here. I have to sit here, guys, and you don't even fucking know. If you haven't read this, you don't even fucking know. Because I would love to be able to give you more information, little tidbits about what happens in this comic, but I literally cannot. And you want to know why? Because so much fucking happens here. So much happens here. And if you haven't read the past issues, the last few issues of Catwoman, wow. There are things that been happening in this this book, and there's a cliffhanger at the end of this one as well. There's the things that have been happening in this book, in this story, in the last 2 issues, that have implications throughout the Gotham universe. It's going to affect what's going on in Jason Todd's story that's going on right now, that's been going on in Urban Legends. It's going to affect Bruce's story. It's going to affect Harley's story. It's going to affect everyone's story. The things that she is doing, that she is being a part of right now, being motherfucking Selina Kyle, motherfucking swagger goddess. I cannot stress it enough. You need to read this book. If you are a fan of the Gotham books, I have said it before, I will say it again. If I had to cut down to one book, I would say my one book is Catwoman. I mean, you guys know I love Harley, and you know I've loved a lot of things on this channel. But Catwoman. So much is happening there. So much. And if you haven't been reading it, and if you haven't been, I'm calling out other people here. Maybe I'm new to this shit. I am new to this shit. I am new to this shit in reviewing comics online. And the thing is if you are not reviewing Catwoman, if you're not reading Catwoman, you're missing out. You're missing out. So that's it for the comics this week. There's some other stuff that came out. There's more that I'm not really into. There's other stuff that came out, like we got the next issue of the Bounty Hunters preamble for Marvel with Star Wars that I've heard great things about it. So if you're into that, make sure to check that out. Make sure you don't miss a beat. And please, don't miss a beat here. I want to know what you think about the comics from this week. Especially the swagger goddess, Catwoman. Oh my god, guys, you don't even know. Like, it was the second comic I read this week. I was sitting there reading comics with my boyfriend, with Joe, and he was reading Catwoman first. When I was sitting with him. Actually, I think it was his second overall that he read for the week, because he read Nightwing first, because he is totally into Nightwing. And then he was reading Catwoman. Well, I read the Mighty Valkyries first, and he read Catwoman while I was reading Mighty Valkyries, and he got through Catwoman because it was really that exciting. And I'm still getting through Valkyries, and he's like, hurry up with the fucking Mighty Valkyries so that you can read Catwoman, because I need to talk to you about this. This is how great it was. That you're going to need someone to talk to about Catwoman 31. So, you know what? How about we make that here? If you guys are watching this video and you have read Catwoman number 31, please comment below. Don't do it if you want to do it on Facebook, go ahead, do it on Facebook. But if you have read Catwoman 31 and you feel things about it, like as do I, as to some other people, please comment below. Let's start a conversation, because this is crazy. This is some crazy shit, and I can't speak out enough about this wonderful swagger goddess of Selena Kyle. So anyways, guys, comment below. I want to know what you think, and I want to know what you think about any of the other comics here that I've talked about, but especially I want to hear what you all have said or felt about Catwoman number 31, because holy shit. Anyways, that's it for now. Please like and subscribe this video to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Please feel free to come over to my Facebook. The address pathway for that should be below in the description. And also, please, if you're on TikTok, check me out at officially unofficial geek. And yeah, so that's it. That's the comics for this week. Please do all those things. Do all those things. Support your small businesses, especially your small comic book shops. They really are, you know, small businesses. It's really what the world is about, you know, especially in, you know, our society. And, you know, take care of yourself and vaccinate if you haven't already, for crying out loud. Please, let's get back to normal. All right. So you guys are great, and I'll see you soon, and keep reading. Bye.